Pretty much a David Warner show in the run chase against the West Indies. While we may have suggested they've put on a fairly decent total, when Warner's in this kind of form, most totals are made to look pedestrian, and that's what he's done with this 157. Here's a look at what's happened so far. Starting with, of course, David Warner, who's been the dominating factor. 54 not out of just 33 deliveries. Quick fire half-century partnership between him and Mitchell Marsh after the loss of Aaron Finch. And the result of that is that Australia comfortably placed almost 100 runs in their 10 overs with just 58 more runs. Add to that 60 more runs to get in 10 overs at exactly a run a ball. The one problem for the West Indies, as it has been throughout the tournament, is no real attacking bowler for Pollard to turn to suddenly cause any tremors in the opposition. On Cricbuzz Comm Box, I'm joined by Zaheer Khan. It's almost sort of a situation of I told you so. West Indies may be chasing totals down. They could provide a miracle, but defending totals will always be a weakness.
Absolutely, and we were anticipating that. So this shows that how good the Australian bowling was. Even though West Indies scored about 157, we always were questioning whether this West Indies bowling lineup will be able to defend, and add to that the kind of form which Warner has showed in this particular innings. It was always going to be difficult. I think run a ball from here now with 9 wickets in hand, you would expect that this bowling lineup also will not be able to contain that. The platform is laid for Aussie batters to come and maybe look at finishing the game earlier than what was expected. The 3 spinners, Hayden Walsh was someone who were expecting might have that wicket taking ability, but once that start was not there, it was always going to be difficult for West Indies bowlers to contain someone like Warner. When he's on song, we know how destructive he can be.
Yeah, Maxwell, Smith, Stoinis, all to follow. Take your pick. Not that Australia will want it to get down to that, but the reason why Zaheer Khan also may have mentioned about them getting it quickly is not because they have a train to catch. It's because they want to make life extremely difficult for South Africa. Quick reminder of the equation there. Australia win, and it looks like they are going to win. South Africa then need to beat England and beat them by such a margin that their net run rate goes ahead of Australia, which at the moment is plus 1.031. But when this game finishes, it'll be far higher than that. That gap will have widened, and South Africa will really need to perform some sort of a minor miracle in order to get over and get into the semi-finals. So they've done all the hard work, and as expected, they should go hard now. Zaheer, what do you expect their approach to be from here? Now that it seems as if they've settled the issue, can we expect fireworks?
Absolutely, I think they would try and better that net run rate. There is no doubt about it, and South Africa also will be watching this game closely, and then they will have their calculators out. The experts will be giving them the feedback. Okay, this is how it's going to be, and you approach the game in that fashion. The game is not far away from starting, so the teams will be out there on the ground, but they will have one eye on this game for sure. How it finishes, how it affects the net run rate for sure. From Australia's point of view, I think they've looked decently well in this tournament, and that's what they'll be happy with. It's just the England game. You can take that in your stride. That okay, tough opponent, had a tough game, but on the whole, they've looked good so far in the tournament.
They certainly have. That one blip perhaps they had against England, which they won't mind. It's the kind you probably want in a tournament scenario as you try and build up to a knockout game, and they look favorites to make the semi-finals. The other big positive for them is the form of Warner. He came into form early, then looked to scratch in the next game, and here again with the loss of Aaron Finch, he's just taken over and holding center stage. That for a knockout game, big news for Australia.
Big news. I think everyone were expecting that sort of an approach from someone like Warner. And now he's looking good. So if they qualify now from here, then surely the momentum, you can say the things are falling in place for Australia. Be it Mitchell Marsh bowling those overs as well today, batting also well at the moment. So there are plenty of positives, and as we call momentum matters in this kind of a format going in the back end, the crucial phase. If they qualify, I think they'll be very happy with how things are placed for them.
Yeah, it's in all likelihood it would be an in terms of matchups, it should be an absolutely fascinating semi-final that we're looking forward to. Most probably it would be Pakistan taking on Australia, and in the other one, England taking on India. Well, that's what we're hoping for. We're not going to get ahead of the game right now. That's all up to New Zealand and Afghanistan tomorrow. But for now, this is the lineup we're looking forward to in terms of this. That's all done and dusted, settled. Look out for some more fireworks coming in the back end of the innings. And of course, when we come back, we'll be looking ahead to the next game. What does South Africa need to do? That's all from Cricbuzz Comm Box.